liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Alicia. Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall.
Present.
Commissioner Grantham.
Here.
Commissioner Bell.
Present.
County Attorney Bellis.
Present.
County Administrator Carochi.
Present.
Planning and Zoning Director Victoria.
Present.
Thank you. Move on to approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, we have a rather lengthy agenda in front of us this morning, but I believe we have no changes to make, so I move to approve today's agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We move to the consent agenda. I want to note a couple of changes on here. We're rescheduling a county commissioner meeting from May 28th to May 20th at 9 a.m. because we have a conference that we will be attending on the 28th, so we won't be here. On that same day, we have a Human Services, Board of Human Services meeting and a Public Health meeting, which we have moved to the 21st. And at their normal times, 1:15 and 2 p.m. respectively. And I will note that on here we have, we had initially talked about doing a final on the zoning resolution changes that have been happening over the last several months. There wasn't enough time for a legal review and for the department to finish up, so we've moved that to May 20th. Will be the final approval of the new zoning regulations at 1:30. That will be, we will have a meeting the morning before that we moved, May 20th at 9 a.m., and then we will resume again another meeting at 1:30 for the public hearing of the final zoning resolutions, May 20th at 1:30.
Mr. Chair, with that, and this will be, of course, online and all the changes, and we will be talking about it for at least the next 3 meetings leading up to that. So just to help people remember that we do have these significant changes in the schedule for the 2 Monday meetings and then the 2 meetings for the Board of Human Services and Public Health on the following Tuesday, the 20th and 21st. So with that, I would move for the approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for approval of the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We move on to staff and elected officials' comments. First, we'll start with the sales and use tax report. We'll ask Mr. Sean Sutton, our Budget and Finance Officer, come up this morning. Good morning.
Morning, Sean.
Good morning, all. This is the first report for January 2024 and February for the auto use sales tax. So if we can get started, yep, they're up there. So January, we had total collections of $685,214. This was $89,363 more than 2023. Year-to-date totals are the same as we're just in the first month of collections. And then versus budget, $2,286 less than our proposed budget. The auto use sales tax collection report for general totaled $145,404 in January. This is $21,154 more than 2023. Then February, $97,339, which is $14,407 more than February 2023. Year-to-date total, $242,743, which is $35,561 more than 2023. And then versus budget, we're $30,243 ahead. The lodging sales tax collections, just remember, these might look a little bit behind, but they are quarterly collections. For January, we collected a total of $2,264, which is $10,368 less than 2023. The sheriff retail sales tax collection totaled $456,809, which is $59,575 more than 2023. Year-to-dates also match the first month, and then versus budget, $20,274 behind budget. The last report is the sheriff auto use sales tax collection. This is again through February, 2 months. First month, January, was $96,936, which was $14,103 more than January 2023. February totaled $64,893, which is $9,604 more than 2023. Year-to-date total, $161,829, which is $23,707 ahead of 2023. And then versus budget, $24,329. So overall, you can see numbers are very strong to start the year. For the auto use sales tax, we typically budget, throughout the year. So while it may appear to be slightly behind, our larger tax collection months are obviously during the warmer months, kind of start May, April, obviously run all the way through September then. So overall, pretty pleased. And then talking with Clerk Grantham, he's had a tremendous start to the year. So we did make some adjustments to his budget initially to start, with it being an election year, but so far so good.
So thanks. Yeah, it looks like they quit selling or buying at the grocery store and started buying cars in January. So
There you go. Yeah, something. A lot of Christmas gifts. I
yeah,
guess.
something.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Sean. Just a reminder, and we've talked about this before, but for the millions listening around the world, it's especially on like the lodging tax, just that reminder, we receive those quarterly.
Quarterly?
And that far right column there under the budget is just the anticipated, it's annualized.
Correct.
And so we play catch up 4 times a year on that right-hand column.
Yes, and typically we kind of catch up or normalize around September.
Right.
Specifically for that report.
Exactly.
Yep,
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thanks, Sean.
you bet.
All right, next we move to the county clerk's report, the monthly report. That's Clerk Grantham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The total motor vehicle fees, sales tax, and recording fees collected for February of this year are $1,226,021.93. Of that, Fremont County's portion for disbursement is $643,886.37, which is 53% of the total fees, and is $21,398.69 more than February of last year. Year-to-date, our office is up $197,928.45.
Someone is buying new cars.
And there it is. Wow.
Wow, those are some pretty big numbers.
Yes, they are. Usually this attributes to when people get their taxes back.
Right.
They start using that down payment for vehicles. So once the April hits, you'll start seeing an increase in that as well. Barring an increase in your food from the grocery store.
All right, thank you, Clerk Grantham. With that, Mr. Chair, I move to accept the county clerk's monthly report.
Second.
And moved and seconded to accept the county clerk's monthly report. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now we move on to Mr. Tony Carochi, our county administrator, for his report. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. So we'll start with job opportunities that are posted in Fremont County. We currently have openings at the Fremont County Sheriff's Department. We have ongoing postings for detention deputies and for a master control officer. Our facilities department, we have a maintenance worker, which closes tomorrow. Our Department of Human Services, we have an intake caseworker, and that position closes today. Our planning and zoning department, we have a planning coordinator position that's posted. And our noxious weed management department, we have 2 seasonal weed management specialist positions, and they are employed from April through October. So for more information about employment opportunities with Fremont County, please go to our county website at fremontcountyco.gov, or you can call our HR department at 719-276-7409. Just a reminder that we're going to begin our Fremont County cleanup campaign in coordination with Twin Enviro Landfill. The dates will be April the 8th, 2024 through May 17th, 2024. Vouchers will be issued to residents of unincorporated Fremont County and a limit of 1 voucher per address. No televisions, microwaves, or electronic appliances. Vouchers can be picked up at our Fremont County Administration Building in room 106 beginning April the 8th. We will also be partnering with 3R Technologies to provide an electronic recycling event on May 25th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Department of Human Services parking lot. Last year, we collected 6,453 pounds of e-waste, and it was a big success. You can contact us at 719-276-7409 for any questions or concerns you may have. And finally, I would like to lift up our Department of Public Health, and specifically congratulations to Paula Sperlin, who received the 2023 Performance Award in Vital Records. There are only 10 offices in the state that received this award this year. There is a list of 10 performance standards that must be met to obtain this award, including making few errors, timely payment of invoices, timeliness, and completing annual training by the deadline. She has also received this award previously in 2015, 2017, and 2021. We are all very proud of her, obviously, and she always represents the county in such a professional manner, as does all of our public health staff. It is staff like her that makes us so proud to be a part of Fremont County. So anyway, that's all I have, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I appreciate Paula's hard work over there, and we should have had her here this morning, I guess. We normally do that, but we will make sure, and everybody, we have the Director of Public Health here. You'll pass that on for us, and we'll all do the same, but appreciate the work that she does over there. Any other comments or questions for Mr. Carochi? Okay, then we'll move on to fellow commissioners. You gonna arm wrestle?
Sure, I'll go. Good morning, everyone. A couple of weeks ago, we had our Fremont County Assessor, Stacy Seifert, come and stand before this board during a general meeting and ask us to consider including Fremont County into a state legislative piece that would move us up in classification from 2C to 2B. Kind of technical there, but what it really means is the classification has to do with population, it has to do with the amount of employees, it has to do with our budgets, it has to do with a lot of different things that are taken into consideration when we decide which classification Fremont County should be in. We made the decision at that time to move from 2C to 2B, providing it is passed through the legislature and signed by the governor, which it looks like it's well on its way. Part of that means your Fremont County elected officials will receive an increase in pay of approximately $10,000 a year. Since we did that, we have had people coming hard at the three of us. Why? But the biggest question that we have is, what are you doing for your employees? So I'm here today to tell you what we are doing for our employees. My fellow commissioners sitting here haven't had an increase in pay since 2020. Over the last 3 years, just since 2021, in cost of living increases alone, Fremont County employees have received an average of 22.2%. In 3 years, 22.2%. In those same 3 years, every employee except your elected officials also received a bonus. Those bonuses averaged $1,200 each year for the last 3 years, for a total in bonuses of $3,600. In addition to that, every employee that we have has a step increase every year. When you're employed for a year, you go to step 2. You're employed for 2 years, you go up to step 3. And so those increases all roll in together. They compound upon each other. I don't have the math brain to figure out exactly what that would total in the end. I could ask our financial guru to do that. I'm sure he could come up with a number for me. But I want to let you know we are not ignoring our employees at Fremont County. In addition to all of those things, we also have finally found a way to do something that we've been talking about since I entered this office in 2011, and that was to increase the county's percentage that we pay into our employees' retirement for them a full percent. So we've gone from 3 back up to 4%. It used to be 4, and then in about 2008, 2009, when the economy took such a hard hit, the county was forced to drop that. We've gotten that back up to a full 4% that the county puts into our employees' retirement funds. So thank you for listening this morning. I just want to let you know we think every single day about our employees here in Fremont County. We consider them in everything we do, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here in front of you today. They are the sole reason that we exist. They exist to serve the public of Fremont County. We have not forgotten our employees, and we never will. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Grantham.
Thank you for coming to this TED Talk.
It's your turn.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Bell, for laying that out like that, because we have been receiving some comments from our constituents, and it's good to kind of summarize what we have been doing over the last few years for the employees. I will just speak maybe more in general, as far as I usually talk about a legislative kind of update. There are still several of the anti-Second Amendment bills going before the legislature right now, and I know they've had some pretty long hearings over the past couple of weeks, and floor debates on several of those. One of the things that we as the commissioners are dealing with more directly are still some of the land use bills, and the efforts by the state, like last year with Senate Bill 213, in taking away some of our local control in land use. What they did with 213 was basically take that and split it up into multiple bills to try to essentially divide and conquer. That was a lot of that was, per suggestion actually from us. There's some things in that 213 that we could live with. There's one like the homestead exemption, the portability of the homestead exemption. If you know what that is, being able to take that with you from property to property. If you move and you have a homestead exemption under the old rules, you would have to live there for 10 years before you could get another homestead exemption. Portability is important for those who are seniors and already have it. They can take it to the next property that they live in. There are many others that are not quite as popular with the counties and us in particular when it comes to the removal of land use control, land use regulations, and local control from the counties. We are still working on those with the sponsors. We are making some headway on some of them to make it more appetizing, I suppose. I know the municipalities, Colorado Municipal League is working on that as well, trying to make sure that it's not too bad when it comes to losing the ability to control some things like occupancy in urban areas, when you don't have the infrastructure to be able to deal with a great increase in occupancy levels. And so that, amongst many others, we are still working on. I was talking to Chairman McFall this morning and whether or not I should announce this quite yet, but I will. Because of the legislature's activity over the last couple of sessions when it comes to land use and local control grabs, I was asked and I have agreed to sign on to a ballot measure that will be on the ballot if it gets the signatures, if it gets through the title board. That will be on the ballot this November. It's a constitutional amendment. And what it would essentially do is put it in the Constitution, enshrine it in our Constitution in Colorado, that land use is strictly to be dealt with at the local level, and any state law, any state statute and taking of those land use controls is superseded by the local government. And I know the lawyer's ears over here are probably twitching and wondering about the language on this, but he hasn't seen it yet. But I will be, you'll be hearing more about this, and there will be a lot of petitions circulating around the state. Be aware of that. Please sign those petitions. We have to get it through title board this month, and that's never a given when it comes to title board. But it seems contrary to that, considering how many things you see on the ballot every single time. It seems like everything gets through onto the ballot, but that's not quite the case. It is a high hurdle to get through title board. It's a higher hurdle getting signatures for a constitutional measure, because you have to get a certain number of signatures from every Senate district in the state, and there's 35 of those. And so you have to get all those signatures, and then you can get it on the ballot. And more to come on that, but it will be local control, be local governments taking back their power from the state. And so that's what we will be doing. So that's it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. I want to start off, this is a little late, because last week was Ag Week. But I think every day is Ag Week. I think agriculture is the heart of the country, and I think it should be celebrated daily. We fight constantly and defend agriculture and our heritage and our way of life. They celebrate it for a week, like I say, yearly. It was the 17th through the 23rd, where they encourage people to get out and go to a farm, go to a ranch, meet the locals, but also to encourage doing business with those. You know, you can buy beef at the store, but you can also go to most ranches and buy beef from them as well. And I just encourage that. It's very important. We need to maintain and sustain the agriculture way of life. It's what feeds our communities, but it's also what many of our families, that's what they survive with on their own. So just encourage that any time of the year, not just a week out of the year. A few years ago, there was the governor had kind of went against beef, and man, it created a movement, and it's called Beef In, where there's still celebrations yearly around the state where everybody's having a huge barbecue and inviting everybody. But it just shows you how valuable agriculture is and how important it is to our economy and to our way of life. And then on another note, the last couple of weeks, we have gotten a tremendous amount of moisture, which is outstanding and amazing, and it has kind of lessened the fire danger there, Clerk Grantham. However, that danger still exists. But I want to recognize our Department of Transportation. We do have a couple of them in the audience today for a different reason here on the agenda a little bit, but these guys worked their tails off. Weekend before last, we had 2 to 4 feet of snow throughout the county. And we've got a lot of roads that they couldn't even get through. They were trying to push through a lot of these roads and getting stuck. And then on the way up there to get that stuck or broke equipment out, they got stuck again. There was so much moisture in this that it was just amazingly muddy, slick. The snow was heavy, heavy, heavy. They did a tremendous job. They had some life-saving missions. They went out, there were people stranded on the side of the road. One day it took them a little over 8 hours to get an elderly lady off of County Road 11, High Park Road. So God bless them for that. They had a mutual call arrangement to go up Shelf Road. There was a grader from Chaffee County, or Teller County. I'm not quite sure why he was on Shelf Road, but he got hit with an avalanche. Lucky it didn't push him off the side of the mountain, but our guys, along with Michael Crow, our emergency manager, were able to go up there and help rescue that grader operator because he was kind of stuck and it was cold. We get him out, get the grader out, as well as deliver gas for a generator to a young person that was on oxygen. Then they were about out of gas for the generator. So that's just a couple of the examples. Commissioner Bell had a what do you call it? It's not an article.
County line column.
County line column in the Daily Record, I believe it was in Saturday, and it explains a lot of that in more detail. But I just can't give these guys enough kudos for the work that they do. They're the brunt of a lot of criticism a lot of times, and people don't realize how hard they're actually working. And they don't just work Monday through Thursday. They were out there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pushing snow and trying to open roads for people that live out in remote parts of the county. And it takes time to get to some of those. And sometimes it's 3 or 4 days. The county was almost all out of electricity for quite a while as well. I personally was out for 36 hours. Thank goodness I had a generator and I could keep my freezers going to save my meat. Just got to keep that beef safe. And I had a fireplace. But there was a lot of people in danger because of those storms. And then again, this last weekend, yesterday, some parts of the county got over 1 foot of snow on top of that snow. So there's those dangers increasing again. So thankful for the moisture and so blessed that we're getting it, but there is some life-saving stuff happening out there that a lot of people don't realize. So again, thank you to the Road and Bridge Department, and Michael, if you'll pass that on to everyone, appreciate you guys tremendously. Okay, anything else up here? Clerk Grantham? Nope. Okay, the next item are citizens who wish to address the commissioners for matters not on the agenda today. I don't have any up here, but if anybody would like to, now is the time. No rush for the microphone. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. We have no old business today. First item in new business is a proclamation naming April 1st through the 7th as National Public Health Week. And we have Representatives Autumn Deaver and Paula Boozer here from the Fremont County Public Health Department. Good morning.
Morning, ladies.
Morning.
Morning.
We're going to tag team this.
All right.
All right. So it's the Fremont County Board of Commissioners proclamation for National Public Health Week. Whereas the week of April 1st through the 7th, 2024 is National Public Health Week, and the theme is protecting, connecting, and thriving. We're all public health. And whereas the goal of National Public Health Week in 2024 is to recognize the contributions of public health in improving the health of people of the United States and achieving health equity. And whereas there are significant differences in the health status of individuals living in the healthiest states and those living in the least healthy states, including differences in obesity rates, the prevalence of chronic disease, and the prevalence of infectious disease. And whereas from 2019 to 2021, the life expectancy at birth for the population for the United States declined 2.7 years, which is the biggest decline in the 2-year life expectancy since 1921 to 1923. And whereas many of the leading causes of death for individuals in the United States result from chronic conditions, which are among the most common, costly, and preventable of all health challenges. And whereas vaccination is one of the most significant public health achievements in history and has resulted in substantial decreases in the number of cases, hospitalizations, and deaths associated with vaccine-preventable diseases and healthcare costs associated with vaccine-preventable diseases. And
whereas public health professionals help communities prevent, prepare for, mitigate, and recover from the impact of a full range of health threats, including disease outbreaks such as the COVID-19 pandemic, and natural disasters such as wildfires, flooding, and severe storms, and disasters caused by human activity and public health emergencies. And whereas public health professionals collaborate with partners outside of the health sector, including city planners, transportation officials, education officials, and private sector businesses, recognizing that other sectors can influence health outcomes. And whereas efforts to adequately support public health and the prevention of disease and injury can continue to transform a health system focused on treating illness into a health system focused on preventing disease and injury and promoting wellness. Now, therefore, let it be proclaimed by the County Commissioners of Fremont County, by the virtue of authority vested in the board, the week of April 1st through 7th, 2024 is National Public Health Week in Fremont County, and call upon the residents of Fremont County to observe this week by helping families, friends, neighbors, co-workers, and leaders to better understand the value of public health and supporting the great opportunities to adopt preventative lifestyle habits in light of this year's theme, protecting, connecting, and thriving. We are all public health.
Thank you. I just realized I have 2.7 years less than I thought I did, so I'm going to start doing some things I wasn't planning on.
I don't see you running up the street as often as I used to.
You do not. You do not. Commissioners, any comments or questions, or?
I would just say, well said. Thank you so much for putting this together for us. I think the role of public health is often misunderstood in our community. But I also will say that Paula is our public health director. We still call her new because she hasn't been there for years like some of us have. But Paula has brought a new effort to truly create an awareness of public health throughout Fremont County. So she is available, or any member of her staff is available to come and speak to anyone, Rotary, Lions clubs, all of those different sorts of things. Any other opportunities that anyone might think of that would be a good opportunity to have a presentation on public health, give them a call and let them know. They're doing a great job in this area. So just thank you to you and your entire staff for everything that you do.
Ditto to all of that. You guys do a fantastic job over there, and we really appreciate the hard work you do, and we look forward to the celebrations and the fight on. The popcorn, there we go. Excellent. And with that, Mr. Chair, if you would like a motion, I would move that we, as the commissioners, approve the proclamation naming April 1 through April 7 as National Public Health Week.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to, goodness, I just took the proclamation out of the thing. To approve the proclamation for Public Health Week, April 1st through April 7th. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'm going to ask you two ladies to come back up front. We're going to take a quick picture.
No multitasking for you.
No. Thank you very much. All right, we'll move on to number 2, which is a proclamation naming April as Fremont County Child Abuse Awareness Month. We have Amanda Witt and Barry Acton from the Department of Human Services. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have a couple little goodies for you.
We're going to kick the show off right today.
By giving us stress
Giving us
balls.
something to throw at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Deal. Thank you.
I don't know if we have that many, Dan.
thank you.
You only get one
Nice.
shot, bud.
Thank you.
What you're getting there is the blue ribbon for child abuse prevention. It signifies awareness for child abuse throughout the United States. I ask that you proudly display that on your clothing throughout the month of April in support of child abuse prevention. Now, the great Amanda Witt.
So this time of year, for more than 10 years now, you may have seen pinwheels planted in the community. We have them here at the admin building and also at City Hall. And if you've wondered why, it's because planting pinwheels represents the bright childhoods we all want for children. This April, the hope is that you will do more than see pinwheels in your community. There are more ways to get involved during Child Abuse Prevention Month and all year long. You can show support for promoting positive childhood experiences by wearing blue on April 1st, which is National Wear Blue Day. You can also participate in Wear Blue Wednesdays to show your support. In the proclamation, you will hear us refer to the protective factors. Protective factors are characteristics or strengths of individuals, families, communities, or societies that act to mitigate risks and promote positive well-being and healthy development. The 5 key protective factors are parental resilience, social connections, knowledge of parenting and child development, concrete support in times of need, social and emotional competence of children. These factors enable children to thrive and live their lives as they are meant to. While the proclamation today focuses on April being Child Abuse Prevention Month, as a department, we see daily how prevention is truly year-round and not just for 1 month out of the year.
Fremont County Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month, April 2024. Whereas child abuse and neglect is a serious problem affecting every segment of our community. Children are key to Fremont County's future success. They are our future employees, leaders, neighbors, and will shape the future of Colorado. Whereas when parents, caregivers, family, friends, neighbors, employers, and elected leaders work together to increase the 5 critical protective factors in families' lives, that is when we can prevent child abuse, strengthen families, and build brighter childhoods. And whereas positive childhood experiences build healthy families and strong communities, and everyone benefits when we all ensure that children have positive experiences and that families have the resources they need when they need them. Whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. Now, therefore, you, the Fremont County Commissioners, by virtue of the authority vested in this board, do hereby proclaim April 2024 Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month, and in so doing, urge all citizens to join in a national effort to raise awareness about the importance of preventing child abuse. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. This is as important or more as agriculture. This needs to be noticed all year round, not just a month. But thank you for bringing this before us again this year. Commissioners?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you both for bringing this again before us. It's just another moment for us to be able to highlight the great work you guys do out there at DHS for families, for the kids, and the role you play in making a better environment for kids that are in trouble here in Fremont County. So thank you guys for doing that and making this proclamation.
I think the jobs of those who work in this realm are some of the hardest jobs that there are. You deal every single day with kids, and kids who are in trouble, and kids who are in desperate way through no fault of their own. And I think protecting our children, they truly are one of our most fragile populations, and protecting them is up to all of us. So I also would just echo my thanks for being here today and to helping to bring this into the light. Let's figure it out. Let's talk about it. Let's help solve it and get rid of it. So with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve this proclamation that names April as Fremont County Child Abuse Awareness Month here in Fremont County.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded to approve this proclamation, April as Fremont County Child Abuse Awareness Month. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Let's go take another picture.
All
I
right.
do have
Yes, sir.
one thing I would like to add to this
Sure.
talk with the board, as well as to the millions and millions that are online.
Millions and
Tomorrow, we are having our Living Blue Ribbon at the department at 1 o'clock. So anyone and everyone is invited to come take part in that. The IT department is graciously going to bring their drone. So 1 o'clock on the west side of the department.
And wear blue.
And wear
Wear
blue,
blue.
absolutely.
Wear blue.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. See, it's an interactive meeting.
You betcha.
Thank you. Moving on, item number 3 is a proclamation naming April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Representative Sarah Fisher from the Family Crisis Service. Good morning.
Good morning. My organization is Family Crisis Services. We've been serving Custer and Fremont County since 1981. We're a private, nonprofit organization dedicated to eliminating domestic and sexual violence, providing safety, support, and promoting justice for victims and their families. All of our services are free and confidential, and our request today is that the board would declare April Sexual Assault Awareness Month. I have the proclamation here. Whereas April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month and calls attention to the fact that sexual violence is widespread and impacts every person in Fremont County, and whereas every day women and children, also men across Colorado, suffer the pain and trauma of sexual assault upon survivors in our communities, and whereas this crime occurs far too frequently, goes unreported far too often, and leaves long-lasting physical and emotional scars. And whereas during National Sexual Assault Awareness Month, we recommit ourselves to lifting the veil of secrecy and shame surrounding sexual violence, expanding support for victims, and strengthening our response. And whereas sexual violence affects individuals of all ages, backgrounds, and circumstances, and whereas as a community, we share the responsibility for protecting each other from sexual assault, supporting victims when it does occur, and bringing perpetrators to justice. And whereas at every level, we must work to provide necessary resources to victims of every circumstance, including medical attention, mental health services, relocation, housing assistance, and advocacy during the criminal justice process. And whereas Fremont County and Colorado can come together to increase awareness about sexual violence, decrease its frequency, hold offenders accountable, support victims, and heal lives. Now, therefore, let it be proclaimed for Fremont County, Colorado, that the month of April 2024 is hereby designated as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in Fremont County, and hereby urge the community to work together to educate themselves about sexual violence prevention, to support survivors, and to speak out against harmful attitudes and actions.
Thank you. Another important issue that we all need to be aware of all the time, and thank you for bringing this to us. It's a shame that we have to make these awareness months for both this and the last, but we do, unfortunately. So, commissioners?
There is a lot going on in April, and I would say this one truly is just as important as the others. I have served previously as a board member for Family Crisis Services, so I've been much more involved in these in the past. And I think it's one of the most important pieces of the work that you do is to tell our community what is happening, that there is help available, and how that help can happen for those people who need it. So I am all in favor, once again, of doing this proclamation this year. And I just want to say to you and to all those that you work with, thank you also for the hard work that you do, because this is not easy work. It's very emotional. It takes a certain heart to do this kind of work, and so I appreciate all of you.
Thank you.
And from me as well, thank you for the work that you do on this. We, of course, in the last proclamation, we get to highlight our county and the work that they do, and there's also groups out there in the community doing great work for this, and Family Crisis Services doing this work for sexual assault victims, and not just that, domestic violence victims as well, and if there's any others I'm missing.
That's good.
And just appreciate the work that you're doing and bringing awareness to this, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Motion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the proclamation naming April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. That's it.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded to proclaim April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Let's take another picture, Tony.
You're just trying to get your steps in.
Like a dance.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, move on to item number 4, which is a resolution, which will be resolution number 16, a series of 2024, amending the March 2019 edition of the Fremont County Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual, Chapter 6, Working Conditions, Section 6.02, Age of Employment. We have Alicia Stone, HR Director, here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is simply to amend the age requirement for detention deputies at the sheriff's office. It was previously 21. We've changed it to 18. Hopefully that will resolve some staffing shortages that we have ongoing and open that age up a little more, so.
Okay. We do have the sheriff in the office. Would you like to comment on this at all, Sheriff? As to, and Captain Moore as well.
So one of the issues that's troubled the office since I've been there and even before is the staffing on the detention side. We're consistently down between 10 and 15 employees, and that's why we have the continuous running of our application for detention deputies. Statutorily, there's no requirement for the age to be 21. And so I hope this, by making this change, we can open up a pool of employees that we can start rebuilding that detention division with. Jim?
You know, I think we understand it's going to require more supervision, more training, better preparedness for those folks. But I also think that if we can get them into the sheriff's office at that young age, we're going to build more successful deputies when they prepare to transition to the patrol division. So across the board, I think it's going to really benefit the agency and the county as well.
Thank you, gentlemen. Commissioners?
I have a question, and I'm not certain if this needs to be directed at Alicia or if maybe our attorney might need to answer this. Let me apologize for just realizing what this says, but it just hit my brain. Part of this says, any employee under the age of 18 shall have written consent. So, never mind, that doesn't apply. Never mind.
So that part that's changing is minimum age of
Yes.
employee of Fremont County
I was
shall be
missing
18
Shall be 18,
years. Yeah.
okay. Disregard. Keeping you on your toes.
Wrong paragraph. Yeah.
Yes.
No questions from me, Mr. Chair, but, you know, the comments are, you know, this is something that, as Captain Moore and the sheriff mentioned, you know, I think this will just give another tool in the toolbox for us to be able to try to deal with some staffing issues and getting applications, honestly, to go work with good crews out there in our sheriff's department, and I think, as Captain Moore put it, you know, training up that from that younger age, and by the time they are 21, then we have experienced officers working out there, and so I'm definitely in support of this.
Well, I think that reference to 21, if I'm correct, is they have to be 21 to become post-certified. So then they could become post and become patrol officers at that point.
Right.
I think today's meeting is a great opportunity to let the public know that we're making this change and that countywide, folks from 18 through 20 and 364 days now have an opportunity to go to the work in the sheriff's office where they would not have previously. So I would just urge you or the sheriff's office maybe also to contact workforce and to let them know that we are making this change, because if they're aware of that, then they can kind of help guide people, as well as talking to schools and maybe becoming more involved in any kind of job fairs that we have throughout Fremont County. So with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve resolution number 16, series of 2024, amending the March 2019 edition of the Fremont County Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual, Chapter 6, Working Conditions, Section 6.02, Age of Employment.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 16, as stated by Commissioner Bell. Any further discussion? You can find those applications at fremontcountyco.gov. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thanks.
You want to get a picture with us, Dan?
Oh, man. Okay, moving on, item number 5, request the issuance of a malt, Venice, and spirituous and fermented malt beverage special events permit. Southern Colorado Honors Flight Association for an event at Pathfinder Park Event Center, 6655 County, Colorado Highway 115 in Florence, on the April 6th from 5 to 11, 2024. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning.
Tell us a little bit about the Honor Flight Banquet.
So this is for a benefit for the Southern Colorado Honor Flight. This is so we can take veterans, maybe for the last time of their life, to Washington, D.C., so they're able to see the monuments that Washington, D.C. made for them. So this benefit really ups the ability for us to do that.
Thank you. Sorry, we have Josh, how do you say your last name? Kaverzagi?
Kaverzagi.
Yeah, and Jim Sheridan here this
Yes.
morning. Thank you
My
guys
advice.
for being here. Okay, commissioners. Have anything yet?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Josh, could you talk a little bit about security of the event, meaning how do you know who is underage, who is of the age to drink, how that will be controlled? Also, excuse me, how your servers have been trained. Thank you. Okay, I think I got that out.
I will take care of that one. All right, with this, in conjunction, Post 4061, 2788, my bartenders from 2788 will be the servers there. They are trained within the Colorado liquor license laws and everything else and identification. When somebody comes up, if they appear to be, or either we'll card them everyone who's there, and that to make sure they are of the age of 21. And then no alcohol will be served to them if they are under the age of 21. Now, also too, our bartenders will be observing if anybody over-consumes, then they will be cut at that time and asked to go ahead and sit down and relax, have a cup of coffee or whichever way. Security-wise, we do have volunteers who are going to be sitting at each doorway, either going into the building or outside the building itself, and they will take and ensure that none of these in the items will be taken outside of the building, that will be consumed within the area and that there. So that's how we're setting it up.
All right, thank you so much.
And no questions, at least as far as the application goes, but just a question. We do have a local veteran. What kind of details can you give as far as the honor flight coming up and who is going?
At this time, we have a couple local veterans. We don't have the full names because we've not put the full list together yet, sorry. With this here, we got the flight coming up on April 26th. And we do have veterans from all over southern Colorado that are being on this. As of the ones we will have by April 6th, we will have the names of all the ones who are going to go on this flight. And it's very nice because they don't pay a dime, is what's nice about it. And this the last one I went, one of our fellow comrades, commander of one VFW post, was able to help one Vietnam veteran to have closure after 52 years.
Wow.
And it worked very well. So this is something here that helps our local veterans to basically get closure and be able to say goodbye to their friends.
I believe there may be one that is a World War II vet that's possibly going that I've heard, and maybe
And I will be a guardian on this next flight.
Okay, perfect, great. We, I believe he may be over 100 years old, this one that may be heading out this next time, so just what I've heard. The only reason I bring that up, guys, just from my experience with Honor Flight over the years and the great work that you guys do, and a lot of these veterans and how it started was with a lot of the World War II veterans, because they hadn't had a memorial out there all those years, and then they finally built the World War II memorial just as our World War II veterans are starting to fade off the scene. And for example, the 100-year-old World War II veteran, And I was recalling with somebody the other day talking about honor flight, and when I first went to Denver in the Senate, we have celebrations every year honoring the military. And when we have a World War II specific proclamation, when I first got there, we were talking about around 1 million American World War II vets, and there were 16 million that served in World War II Americans. And by 2011, 2012, we were down to 1 million living veterans. Just in the last 10 years, 12 years, we're down to just a little over 100,000 World War II veterans still living. And that's part of the cruise that you gentlemen are helping to get out there to DC to see the memorial. So thank you guys. We really appreciate that and what you're doing there.
Can I get a staff report, please?
Good morning.
Morning.
The 45-day requirement was met. All required checks submitted. The sheriff recommended approval, and so did public health. I just wanted to explain that the reason for the large gaps in the dates was just because there was some miscommunication, and the public notice poster was posted just a few days late to be able to make it to the last meeting, but everything has been in place for the last couple of weeks. All offices recommend approval.
Thank you. Commissioners?
I have no other
Okay,
questions.
no question. Thank you guys for what you're doing.
Microphone, Kevin.
Yeah, Commissioner Grantham spoke well about it, and it's pretty cool because we do have a lot of those guys in our community here as well. Who would love to go. I watched a deal on the news just a couple of days ago of a couple of World War II veterans. There are 3 of them, and they might have all 3 been either 100 or over 100, and it's pretty amazing to see them and get to see their memorial. So appreciate it.
Okay. If you're ready for a
Yes,
motion.
sir.
Then, Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve the request for the issuance of a malt, venison, spiritus, and fermented malt beverage special events permit for Southern Colorado Honor Flight Association for their event at Pathfinder Park Event Center at 66550 Colorado 115 in Florence on April 6th from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. in 2024.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded to approve the special events permit for the Honor Flight Association, April 6th from 5 to 11. Any further discussion?
Just thank you guys for doing this so much. It means so much to our veterans, and I think our veterans hold a very special place in our hearts. So thank you.
They do in ours, and this is the one thing we can do for them for, saying, hey, we're helping you to get closure, and like I say, we're veterans ourselves, and it's our duty.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you there.
See you there.
See you there.
Yes,
Have a good
you
night.
will.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, item number 6 is request issuance for a malt, venison, spiritus, fermented malt beverage special events permit for the Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance for an event at Pathfinder Park Event Center, 6655 Highway 115, Florence, on April 11th from 3 to 9. And we have Emmy here this morning. Emmy Denhake, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
I am well.
Good. Tell us about the event.
All right, this first one is for our Small Business Expo. It's the opportunity for some of our smaller businesses that aren't large enough or have the capacity to host a business after hours. We decided to make this month the month that they can get together and join forces, and we do a small business showcasing smaller businesses, ones that don't have brick and mortar, an opportunity to showcase them and mingle with the rest of the business community.
Okay, any questions for Emmy?
This is not the first year that you've done this.
No, this
Correct.
is actually our second year.
Okay, that's what I was
So,
thinking.
We
Yeah.
usually showcase 25 local businesses, small mom and pops, startup businesses, so it's an opportunity to help some of our smaller businesses be noticed also.
Okay, and I also would have the same question about servers. Have they been trained? How do you know no one under the age of 21 will be drinking?
Yes, so same deal. We've all been trained through the city and the state for the liquor license. Carding, of course, if they look under a certain age, we ID. And generally, this is an adult. an adult function.
All right,
So-
thank you.
Any questions?
Nope.
Can I get a staff report, please?
Let's see. Well, I just wanted to comment that you always try to make the 45-day requirement, even if it's the same day that someone requests of you to, sponsor the event. Everything looks great. All documents were provided. Health recommends approval, sheriff, as well as clerk, so.
Thank you. Okay, commissioners, anything else?
Nope.
Have a motion.
Have a motion.
It actually makes it pretty easy for us when our sheriff's office, as well as our Department of Public Health, says, yeah, we would recommend that you say yes to this. There are no issues. So I also would thank you, Amy, for always being on time with your submissions. And I'm quite sure that they're pretty darn complete when you get them here, because you've been doing this for a while. So I just want to say thank you for that. So with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the issuance of a malt, Venice, and spirituous, as well as fermented malt beverage special events permit to the Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance for an event that will occur on Pathfinder Park, at Pathfinder Park on April 11th from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the special events permit for Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance for an event on April 11th, 3 to 9 at Pathfinder Park. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham. Aye. Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, and then the next one, Amy's just going to stay put there. We have a request for an issuance of a malt, venison, spirituous, and fermented malt beverage special events permit for Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance for an event at Pathfinder Park Event Center, 6655 Colorado Highway 115, in Florence, on April 12th from 3 to 9.
The very next day.
Yes.
What is this event?
This is the PCC Hall of Fame dinner. So we have partnered with them and we have agreed to help them out. And so we're going to be there 2 days in a row. So it'll be nice. Yes.
And I'm assuming the answers are all the same to the
Yes, ma'am.
security, age,
Yes, ma'am.
certification. Thank you.
Same people.
Same people.
Same people, yeah.
Different nights. That's all good.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, anything? Staff report, please.
Pretty much the same information to report. It's just a different event, but all documents were provided in the 45 days, and all offices recommend approval, so.
Thank you.
If you're ready for a motion, I'll give you a
I
motion.
am.
All right. Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the request for the issuance of a malt, venison, spirituous, and fermented malt beverage special events permit for the Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance for an event at Pathfinder Park Event Center, 66550 Colorado 115 in Florence on April 12th from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., 2024.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded to approve the special events permit for Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance for an event at Pathfinder Park, April 12th from 3 to 9. Any further, 3 to 9, any further discussion?
Thanks for doing this to help out all of the different organizations in our community.
Thank you. Thank you guys for what you do. You guys have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Amy. Move on to item number 8. We finally had the bids out for all the materials that the Road and Bridge Department used for the projects this summer. And we do have the recommendations from Michael Witt, our Department of Transportation Director. Good morning.
Good morning.
Item number 8 is award bids for the aggregate chip, for chip seal program. And I'll turn it over to you.
All right, for aggregate, for the 3/4 aggregate chip rock and the 1/2-inch aggregate, we're looking to award it to Wholesome for $20 a ton for a 3/4 rock and $23.50 for the 1/2-inch for our chip seal projects.
Okay, commissioners, any questions?
No questions. This is actually usually a pretty quick series of agenda items for us to run through. We typically take the recommendation of our Department of Transportation Director. So Mike, thanks for being here and explaining these to us today. Mr. Chair, I move to approve this bid for aggregate chip for our chip seal program to Wholesome for the 3/4-inch aggregate chip rock at $20 a ton and 1/2-inch aggregate chip rock at $23.50 a ton.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded to award the aggregate chip rock to Wholesome for 3/4 and 1/2 inch. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I will point out, too, that you had these out for bid. Bids came in, you guys opened them, and as Commissioner Bell said, your recommendation, it'd be kind of silly for us to go against those.
Indeed it
You
would.
know what you've got going on.
Yeah.
The next one is for tack oil, Mike.
Tack oil. I opened the wrong one. We can go with tack oil. Let's see. We're recommending that Suncor Energy get the bid for $2.41 per gallon for CRS 2P, or for the tack oil, I'm sorry, and $1.61 per gallon for the 50/50 dilute from the Pueblo plant, and we'll haul it with our equipment.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion or a question? If you have one or not, motion.
Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve the bid for tack oil to Suncor Energy for the $2.41 per gallon or the $1.61 per gallon for the 50/50 dilute.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the tack oil bid to Suncor, $2.41 per gallon and $1.61 for the 50/50, and Fremont County Department of Transportation will deliver to the job site. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next one is for asphalt, Mike.
Perfect. We're recommending the bid for asphalt mix go to Fremont Paving for $75 a ton for the asphalt projects, and we'll deliver it.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Chair, I move to accept this bid and to award the bid to Fremont Paving at $75 a ton for asphalt mix, with the understanding Fremont County will pick up and deliver to job sites.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve asphalt to Fremont Paving, and Fremont County will deliver to job sites. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next one is for dust suppressant.
Dust suppressant. We're recommending a dust suppressant go to for GMCO storage yard in Florence, and we'll be delivering it. It's 87 cents a gallon.
Hey, Commissioners.
Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve the bid for the Dust Guard liquid supplied from the GMCO storage yard in Florence at the 87 cents a gallon, and at FCDOT will apply the material to the roads.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded to approve dust suppression bid to GMCO, and then Fremont County will apply the bid, or the product. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next one is for emulsion oil.
Emulsion. This is where I messed up. CRS 2P emulsion, we're recommending go to Suncor Energy for $2.81 a gallon at their Pueblo plant, and we'll be picking it up for the chip seal projects.
Okay, Commissioner.
All right, Mr. Chair, I move to approve this bid for emulsion to Suncor Energy for $2.81 per gallon from the Pueblo plant, understanding Fremont County will pick up.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the emulsion bid to Suncor and for $2.81 a gallon, and Fremont County will pick that up at the plant. I just have a quick question. How much are you saving by hauling it yourself rather than them hauling it? Do you know?
I do. For each one, dust suppressant was pretty good. Let me find that one real quick. I have it written down.
I assume it's pretty significant.
It was pretty decent price, and with hauling it ourselves, it leaves us a $9,000 surplus in our budget. So if we have extra roads that need it, we have extra in the budget to do so. Let's see, GMCO was 87 cents a gallon. If we pick it up, and $1.02 if they deliver it.
Wow.
But if you figure that on 280,000 gallons, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we're saving $9,000 hauling it ourselves. Well, that's from $1.05 to 87 cents. I did calculate that, so it's a little less than $9,000, but that's still a pretty good budget for some of the roads that get messed up, and we can apply a little extra that we didn't foresee in the past.
Right.
So that will be good.
Well, thanks for protecting our budget and taking care of those dollars.
Absolutely. I do want to thank you for that article you wrote. A lot of guys don't really like recognition, but it was a very nice article. And I'd like to thank Annette for helping me put all this together, because it was my first year and she walked me through all of it. So I do appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I was just going to add in, since we actually have the good fortune of having Mr. Witt standing in front of us and John here and Annette, again, thank you guys for everything you guys did over the snowstorm, and just can't thank you guys enough.
Yep.
So
All right, thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Thank you.
Right. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thanks again, Mike. All right, the last item of business is a presentation of the Fremont County 2023 Accountability Report. We were up at the Senior Mini College last week and presented this to, I don't know, 30 folks probably in the room.
Yep, 30, 32.
It was always good. It is available on our website, fremontcountyco.gov. We're just going to go through this here. Not in great detail because it is on, there's a lot of numbers on here, but it is on the online if anybody would like to look at that more clearly to see what we've done. We ask all departments and all elected officials departments, and we don't always get all the information from all the departments, but we have a pretty good collection of them right here. So we'll start off on the first page, and it just has the elected officials up there, their names, and a picture there of us, I guess. Keep going. Keep going. The accomplishments, just some of the stuff that we accomplished over the year. Last year, Pathfinder Park, getting a broadband study, which we had to do to qualify for some grants. I don't really like studies, but in some cases, well, they make you do it just so that you can spend money to get money, I guess. But there, all these things on here, we contribute to the departments that helped us achieve these, and some good stuff up there. Fremont County Sheriff's Office, they were about to burn up last year because of the failure of the air conditioners, and we had to get a temporary solution for that last year because it was so hot. Now we've hopefully got that rectified with a new chiller this year. And same with the courthouse out there. There were some problems with the roof. So we're taking care of those with money that we got from ARPA funds and everything. Next page. More on the accomplishments. We've got some, this page right here says a lot. We kind of had a brief discussion about this the other day. We've been very lucky on the hires that we've made in the last year or so. And right here, several of them. Tony Carochi, Barry Acton, Michael Witt, Paula Boozer, Sean Biddle. There's so much right here that says a lot. These folks are all doing a great job for the departments that they're in and representing the county well and the people of Fremont County. So we're blessed to have struck gold there with these folks. More accomplishments, I guess. We had to put more stuff on there that we have accomplished to help the county out, help the business, help the people. Keep going. Employee of the Year. Every year, Employee of the Year, we asked employees to nominate folks that they feel deserves Employee of the Year. All of the elected officials get together and then vote on that person. Here are all the candidates, all the folks that were nominated by their peers. And some of them more than once. Some of them had 2 or 3 nominations. Go to the next page, please. And the Employee of the Year was Jennifer Odell, a custodian. She had 4 or 5 nominations, I believe. And like I said, all the elected officials get together and vote on those. And congratulations to her. She has a picture as you come in the front doors up there on the wall, showing her recognition. So we appreciate all the work she does and everyone else that was nominated, and appreciate those folks that nominated them.
You gonna read this one line by line?
Yeah, we're gonna read this line by line. Yeah, the budget, again, it's always available online. If you have any questions on that, feel free to reach out to us or any of us, Sean. But it is available there online if anybody to look at. Fremont County Airport, West Brandt's doing a great job out there. Airport is actually growing. We've had several new hangars built the last year or so. We've got some in the works right now. We've got new land leases, and it's pretty exciting to see that growing out there. This talks about the number of gallons of fuel that they've sold out there, and that tells you a lot of the activity. We do still have the state fire helicopters out there, which is a great resource. They're close to anywhere there's a fire in Colorado, but we do have them housed here, which makes it a benefit for us. Next page. They did get a grant to buy this flight simulator, and they're using that. It's getting well used by young folks as well as seasoned pilots. They can use this for their ongoing training as a pilot, and it's a pretty cool deal. There's a charge for it. I don't know what that is, but he hadn't crashed yet. Look at him. He's the guy behind us smiling. So it's kind of cool. If anybody ever wanted to go out and try that, make an appointment with Wes, and he can hook you up with that. But he does have the Airport Advisory Committee helps with this too, the annual fly-in. They help organize that, get fly-in, drive-in, people come out there, just see the airport, fly in, have a burger, kind of talk with some folks and fly out. How far did I go? Fremont County Building Department, right here, that's kind of interesting. Here, it shows all of the building permits that were put out last year, and significant amount, and it breaks them down of what they were for: septic permits, building permits. That's all with 2 inspectors. The building director does go out and help some when needed. These guys are busy. They go millions of miles a year, literally, around throughout this county, checking these out and working with folks who are having new builds. It's kind of interesting this year. We've already given out more permits than we have ever in the first 2 months, so it's pretty active in Fremont County. Next slide, please. The building department financials, just more information on that, the generation that funds that they've made from the building permits to help subsidize the department. Fremont County Extension offices, as a lot of people should know, we moved those offices out to Pathfinder Park Event Center out there. There's offices in the front of that. Julianne Dinkle is our extension director. This year they went through a lot of change out there. Most of the rest of the names on here are new folks. Shannon Davey was hired as an ag natural resource through extension. Cassie Berry Tracy is a 4-H program coordinator. She's new. Allie Spinizzi is office manager. She's new from retirements and people moving around. So these are all new folks out there, but they're willing to help anybody and have any questions on 4-H, get people involved in 4-H. And they're very, very busy out there. Here's a lot of the highlights they did last year. And they're already off to a good run this year. Many events happening out there. On to the next page. Again, this is available online. This year, or that's a lot of the stuff they did. They have a Master Gardener program, and they have a great Master Gardener program. There's some wealth of knowledge in those Master Gardeners that love to share their knowledge of gardening and many different things. They have a lot of workshops that they put on. They're available for anybody to attend. And get a hold of them out there at Pathfinder Park. Talk to Allie and she can give you the schedule. But this is kind of what happened last year. The 2023 fair was out there, which is coming up again this year, which is our 100th year of the fair. So that's going to be pretty exciting. But then the educational classes that they've taught through extension. Next page.
That's me. My turn. I will start with again, the good fortune of having some of our crew in the room while we're doing this. And so Barry and Amanda being here is good. And then our next topic as well with our Department of Transportation. A lot of things that we can highlight about what went on with the Department of Human Services this year. And thanks Barry and crew for putting this together for us for this presentation in our accountability report. The performance improvement plan, the state review, the blue ribbon photo, which we've done for the last few years and we're doing again. We just announced that again today. Thank you guys. They participated in the Goal High School Job Fair, hosted the Foster Parent Picnic. Now they always put on a pretty good spread out there when they have their picnics, so thank you for that too. The eligibility staff received the HCPF Health Care Policy Finance. HCPF. We always, anyway, I got a story for that, but never mind, later. Received the HCPF grant-funded bonuses for Medicaid processing, safety buckets all around the building, the Safety Jam event, National Night Out event, our new director, Barry Acton, meeting with all the teams individually, quarterly professional development days providing outstanding training to all of our staff. And on that next page, the staff donated over 3,000 school supply items to local schools. Thank you for that, guys. 2 DHS teams participated in the Don't Drink and Drive softball tournament, the hosting and organizing of the block party for the surrounding partners, child welfare staff appreciation event, fall harvest festival at Star Point, hosting the second annual trick or treat event for staff children, participating in the art show, celebrating National Adoption Day with 7 adoptions. That's we get to talk about this, you know, when you guys come in for National Adoption Day and that proclamation as well. But thank you guys again for all the work you do on that as well. Celebrating the veterans with a luncheon and certificates, and thank you for allowing us to participate in that as well as commissioners. Then the staff participation in the CCHS job fair and the participation in the CCHS pathways presentation. So we applaud you guys and thank you for all the things that you've done and accomplished over the last year. So, next department. Department of Transportation, again, our director, Mike Witt. And he was just up here talking about the bids. These are what those bids go to over the course of a year, that and other things. But no, I will not read these line by line, no more than Dwayne read the budget line by line. But I think there's a point to be made here in what we look at when we look at all of this work that is done by our road and bridge crews, our FCDOT crews. They're busy. They're doing a lot of work out there in the county, and they are getting a lot done with the resources they have, and we applaud them for all the great work that they do around the county in keeping our roads safe. So thank you guys. Fleet services. 2,298 days without time lost due to injury. That's awesome. That is awesome. Vehicles added, of course, to our fleet. I talk about it quite a bit when it comes to the sheriff department and some of the work that we've done over the last year and a half, along with our new finance director on making sure we have that fleet rotation going there. But our DOT crews manage all the fleet for all the departments, and that's where we see these vehicles added across the county. And some of the older vehicles disposed of or sold. You see all the details there on the right-hand side, the shop repair maintenance hours, all down the list for different departments, and the insurance claims that we see down there at the bottom right. So thank you, Mike and crew. Thank you guys for all the hard work you did this year and putting those numbers together for us. The next one is our Fremont County Emergency Management, and Michael Kroll is our Emergency Management Director. And if you look at this next page and you squint real hard, you can see all the stuff that Mike put on this. And there is a lot here, folks. I'm debating on which ones to pick out because along with our Department of Transportation and all the great work that they did over this, especially this snowstorm, and helping people and helping our residents and our constituents out, Michael was also, he had a very important hand in that, in helping folks and literally saving folks. And so there is a laundry list of things that this man works on. If you know Michael Kroll, you know that the man is never idle. He is a busy guy, and he likes being busy, and he gets a lot done doing that, and there is that long list of things that he does. Next page is Fremont County, our IT. Lisa Hall is the IT administrator. One of the big things that took a little while to get down there, but after the extension office moved from the county building out to Pathfinder Park, we had those offices right across over here in the basement. We had those remodeled for our IT department, and they were able to move from their small little corner up in the north or the southeast corner of the top floor. We moved them down here, and now they have a lot bigger spread down there for them to be able to do the good work that they do. They also hired a Cybersecurity specialist, I don't know why we need one of those.
I do, pick me.
Pick me, pick me. And a network specialist, built a ticketing system in for IT and for maintenance requests around the county, hired an office assistant. Their main focuses are the network and firewall upgrades, multi-factor authentication implementation, the telephone system upgrades for our IT department. And I think almost last. Our Fremont County Planning and Zoning, we see our director, Dan Victoria, right down here at the end. And his crew's doing a lot of great work. Here's a lot of detail on this first page. There it is. This just kind of gives a breakdown of all the different kind of applications, whether it's subdivision applications, land use applications, all the new addresses. And I was going to ask Dan just to make sure these are the new addresses or change addresses in that bottom left corner. And just to kind of point out, after this last storm, I just wanted to make this point, that there's new addresses on these non-county maintained roads. And these are the folks that are usually calling us in a big snowstorm, but they are non-county maintained. There were 32 in the county maintained, as well as new access permits for driveways. We see how busy they are over there on that bottom right corner, the code inspections. They are a busy crew of folks doing a lot of good work for the county, so we really appreciate that, Dan. The next page, again, planning and zoning. We see the fees collected for all these different things, the sub and zoning fees, subdivision zoning fees, kennel renewals, et cetera. And this is where a lot of those, where we see those fees collected from across the board. So that bottom left corner, I think, is probably one of the things that doesn't get highlighted enough, maybe, as far as some of the help that we give to folks, that maybe are not keeping up with the requirements of code as far as cleaning up property, but they can't help financially do that themselves, and so that's one of the things that we are able to help out with as the county, and taking care of that with the Helping Hands dumpsters. So thank you, Dan, for all the work that you guys do. And last but not least, for me, is our Pathfinder Park Event Center. Over 340 events in 2023, in 2023. Even now, as I look at that, I'm like, wait, how? There's 365 days in a year, blah, blah, blah. So that's a whole lot going on out there, and you can only imagine at the beginning of this year how much busier it got after the Abbey shut down, and now has shut down permanently. That it's very busy. Let's just put it that way. Includes the Home and Garden Show, the Fremont County Fair, the Colorado Outdoorsman Days. Chairman McFall talked about the new covered arena and the classroom out there. We got that completed in July. Got that new electronic sign installed, the large animal scale installed, and added a full-time event coordinator position. So a lot going on, very busy out there, and great work being done by all these departments. So that's it, Mr. Chair.
And it's my turn.
It's your turn.
All right, the good news just keeps on coming. So we have other departments and elected officials we're going to talk about. Once again, we happen to have our public health here in the room with us this morning. We talked a little bit at that time about the outreach that they currently are doing to get to our citizens to let them know what they do. This particular slide was put together by Paula, the director, to actually tell people of Fremont County what public health does. So again, I won't sit here and read those to you, but it's a lot. So I would just urge you to go online and check it out. They also then took the time to detail many of the activities that they do on a daily basis. There is a lot there. It's not only that page, but it's the next full page as well. So again, if you're interested in public health, we have started some programs. We work with high school students to be able to come in and find out if public health may be something that they're interested in looking at in the future. They work with them, do some different projects and different things, and there's a lot for them to do. So thanks again to all of them. Then we have a couple of our other elected officials represented here. So Sheriff's Office, again, they were here with us this morning. We talk about detention this morning quite often, but as you can see, we have detention, patrol, and traffic divisions. And so this graph kind of shows the breakdown of what all of those folks do. By far, courthouse screening takes up a lot of time, effort, and energy for that department. Our Administration and Investigations Division, you can see here 288 total investigations for the year last year. Information on concealed carry permits, civil processes, all of those things also take our Sheriff's Office a lot of time. We turn next to the Fremont County Treasurer and Public Trustee, Kathy Elliott. She gave us information on key highlights on the different things that happened in her office, including a total of 31,472 tax notices were sent to the printer and then were mailed. All of the property taxes, all of that information. They are the office here in the county who collects property taxes and then helps distribute those. She gives us information here on all of the different tax distributions that they give, documentation, the tax lien sale that they do every year, and traffic violations. So we actually do receive some funding for those traffic violations here in the county. And then public trustee key highlights, foreclosures, processed 64 foreclosures for real estate deeds. I really want to highlight that number for you because it was just a few years ago. I think we hit a high of 303 foreclosures initiated in a single year, and that was pretty depressing. So this number still is too high, I believe, but it's down considerably from where it was. They also processed 1,343 releases of deeds of trust. Those are folks who paid off their homes, purchased a home outright with cash, some of those different things. Next up is the Fremont County Veterans Services Officer. Again, we've been talking about veterans here this morning, and so this is kind of an all-inclusive meeting, I think. Those folks are incredibly busy. We were able to add a second full-time Veterans Services Officer last year by the name of Tricia Hill. She's doing a great job up there along with Marty Peak. Tricia was able to start a women's group for veterans as well, but you can also see the office by the numbers here and how busy those two folks are. I think there's always a line waiting outside to get in to talk to one of the two of them. Their job basically is to ensure that all Fremont County veterans receive every single benefit that they are entitled to. So if you've never stopped in to see them, to see and ask the questions about benefits that you may not be receiving, it would be worth a phone call or a stop in. I believe the last department we're talking about today is Fremont County Weed Management. This is Noxious Weed Program as directed by Brittany Pierce. There are a lot of different things that she does in her department as well. She works not only with other agencies throughout the county, the state, and other cities and counties as well, but she also works very closely with a lot of our landowners here in Fremont County to help detect and to eradicate some of these noxious weeds. They use biocontrols, which is something I think is really interesting. They don't just go in and spray everything. That's not the way of the world anymore. They also do a local weed walk to discuss and educate the public. Also, one of the most interesting things I think they do is the helicopter aerial application of elongated mustard. I think out in Wellsville is the only place in Colorado that we still have this noxious weed, which is a List A species. It's a terrible infestation and it can do a lot of damage to your environment. So we're still working to eradicate that here in Fremont County as well. Here you can see the areas of treatment, how many folks she worked with through her department this year, the acres that were treated, including some of the List A species that they helped to treat and take care of, as well as the different outreach events. So that wraps up our 2023 accountability report. And I would be remiss if I did not say thank you so much to all of our elected officials who chose to participate in collating all this information, bringing it to us. our department directors who do such a great job for us every year, and then we always have these extra things we ask them for. And they provide, they come through, they do all of this. But especially to Alicia Stone, our HR director, who was also here with us earlier today. She's the one who actually collates this information and puts it together for us. It's a monumental task, and she does a great job at it. So big shout out to her. And I just want to let you all know, we as a board think that the accountability report is one of the most important things that we can do for our citizens, because we know, we understand, you pay a lot of taxes to Fremont County because we pay those same taxes. And this is our effort to let you know what it is that we do with all those taxes that we collect from you every single year. So if you have an interest in knowing those things, please, again, go online. Fremont County, co.gov. That's our new website. Go on, take a look, and see some of those numbers for yourselves.
And it is, when you get our Fremont County co.gov, it's, you go to the top and go under elected officials to the commissioners page, and it's at the bottom of that page. Click on that, and you can see everything what you just saw here. Okay, no further business before us. We are adjourned.